36 years of service. He's been in, He's been in my department, the maintenance department, for, I don't know, about 5 years or so, something like that. But the rest of the time, prior to that, this is kind of his after-retirement job. He spent 30 years in the ambulance department out there saving lives for 30 years. Yeah, a lot of hard work, come on. So it's appropriate that we honor his dedication to the community and this organization by having him make the final cut on this time capsule to open it up. So let's open up some history.
Hopefully you can still hear me. Probably better. How are we doing here on this sound? Okay. So we're going to handle these carefully. We'll read off what is coming out. Because these have been really, really tightly packed, they have to go through some conservation before we can open them, because otherwise they risk being shattered. So we'll take them out. They're going to go in a tray, and then the tray will walk by and go downstairs to the case, and you'll be able to get an up-close look downstairs after this event. So that's what we'll do. So, all right, are we ready? All right. It is tightly packed. Let me see if I can get one of these buildings out first. Okay. So we have the Constitution and bylaws of the Kansas Grand Lodge. So I am going to say that this is likely a Masonic, oh no, this is of the Ancient Order of United Workmen, which was a major society that existed at that time. Start sending these down. It looks like the papers in here are pretty intact, but they've seen some things, kind of looks like. All right, we've got the revised ordinances of the city of Ottawa. Okay, so this is a mysterious envelope that is sealed that we'll have to carefully open. It says present. I don't know if this means gift or people who were there. So. All right, this is the Masonic Ottawa Lodge, numbers 128 AS and AM, their bylaws. And, you know, why are they all these bylaws? Remember, these organizations were so important in the late 1800s. This is where community happened. These are the people who fundraised to make things happen in this town. And then this is I believe movement in Franklin County from the 1830s to date. So these are the people who worked really, really hard to make Franklin County a dry county. I hear the grumblings about that. It's okay. It's okay. We can all go out for a drink after this. Times have changed. This is it's a weekly time book, but we'll have to go look at the list. I don't remember this being on the list. They may have sneaked in some things that weren't on the list. This is an 1866 Holy Bible. Now, Franklin County had a lot of newspapers in its history. Every town wanted to have a newspaper. This one is the Pomona Enterprise. And it looks like it's dated June 24, 1892. And then this one is the Daily Ottawa Republican, which was a major paper up until about 1915. Also June 28th, 1892. This is the Topeka Daily Capital, which, as I said, we were showing their relationship both locally and then to our state and to our county, and then also to the country. So there's some things that are not necessarily entirely Franklin County here. We've got the Ottawa Herald right here, which is still our paper today. And it's dated June 30th, 1892. This is the Ottawa Lever, or Lever, the official organ of the Prohibition Party in Kansas. Dated June 30th, 1892. This is the Ottawa Republican, which was another major paper at the time, June 30th, 1892. So I think we're getting that they probably packed this box about June 30th. This is the Ottawa Journal and Triumph, which is dated June 30th, 1892. Oh, this is one you're excited about, Brandon. This is the specifications for the erection and completion of a county courthouse. That was pretty exciting. Okay, this is the 23rd annual session of the National Encampment of the Grand Army of the Republic. This is the organization that served Union veterans who served for the Union States. This is it looks like a brief history of Franklin County. It was a lot easier to be brief in 1892 than it would be today. This is the bylaws of the Franklin Lodge of number 18 AF and AM, which I believe is a Masonic Lodge. And this is a list of the membership, it looks like, of that lodge. read all to number 128 AF and AM. Their membership. They really passed, don't they? This is the Rebecca State Assembly for Rebecca Lodge of Kansas, which is the women's organization that was part of the Odd Fellows. And I believe they're still the ones who get to lick the wreath at the grave of the unknown soldier of Arlington. And then this, if you're familiar with Silkville and Debussier and how that ranch, that Silkville eventually became an orphan's home, this is a booklet that they have about that orphan's home. Like bylaws. This is the Odd Fellows Constitution. The Kansas State Association of Architects Constitution and Bylaws. And actually, at the time that George Washburn came here, I think there were only about 50 practicing architects in the state of Kansas. This is the Interstate Commerce Bill, full text as passed, in force, April 5th, 1887. Another constitution of the IOF, the Archives in 1890. This is in an envelope with George Washburn's return address, and it is, I can feel it's a metal ribbon that belonged probably, very possibly to Washburn, a medal from the Grand Army of the Republic. It's sealed inside. And actually, it has a cool little map that just shows Ottawa in the center of the county. This is a roster of all of the members of the George H. Thomas Post number 18, the Grand Army of the Republic. So these are all the people who were veterans of the Union Army during the Civil War, who were part of the GAO here in Ottawa. This is a sealed letter from C.F. Dietrich. C.F. Dietrich was the son of Jacob Dietrich, who built Dietrich Cabin in City Park, and he would go on to be a merchant here in Franklin County. This is a copy of the Topeka Daily Capital, July 2nd, 1892. So we're getting a little bit closer to when I went in. This one is, hey, this is remember Chautauqua was here, and it brought 10,000 people to see amazing speakers here in Ottawa from the 1880s through about 1914. People like Susan B. Anthony and Howard Taft and Teddy Roosevelt. These were all people who came to Ottawa to speak. This is their paper bulletin from June of 1892, and two tickets. Go to the assembly. This is the Daily Ottawa Republican from June 28, in Washington, D.C., March 13, 1883, and one of the articles I can see is a description of the Battle of Shiloh. A small American flag. Actually, one of the interesting things about paper at this time is it was a bit acidic and it could transfer color. You can actually see the stripes from the flag pressed into this paper. This is a note signed by George Washburn, architect. It says the following are the names of the contractors for the erection of the courthouse. And it lists L.W. Gilbus of Olathe, general contractor, Simon Reedy of Ottawa, stone subcontractor, Ottawa Foundry Company, and let me do this last one. It's like Singer. So basically all of the people, he hand wrote this note to list all of the people who helped make this building happen. And then he included a little picture of the courthouse in a cyanotype.
Can I angle the back so we can see it? I want to turn it back so we can see it.
How much stuff's in there?
Yeah, there you go.
I could ask.
And the last thing in the box,
Oh, there we go.
aside from grit. There's a little tin. Oh, I think this might be a sample of the original tin roof, or the tin ceiling maybe, somewhere. It just says a piece of the American roofing tin. We'll have to research that one a little bit more. And unfortunately, the tin costs a little bit of rust to the paper, but that ate through the paper a little bit. But it is an illustrated railroad world, which really demonstrates how important the railroad would have been to Franklin County in 1892. Sorry. Okay. And it looks like, oh, here. It's the penny from 1892.
That's mine.